Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Comic Room Pod. I'm your host, Spro, and with me, as always, is Mr. Longbox.
What's up?
Episode 48. 4 episodes away from a year.
Yeah.
Even though we've been doing this for over a year, but a year worth of episodes, I guess. Well, no, we did a year worth of episodes.
But nobody works every week all year. You know,
True.
People take a couple weeks for the holidays and all that.
Yeah.
Say we put in a year.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's cool that we're episode or issue 48, the week that the Fantastic Four movie comes out, that features the Silver Surfer. Now, come on.
Ooh, and then next week 49
to talk about it. It's too good. I promise we didn't plan it this way.
I mean, that would be insane planning. That's pure sovereignty right there.
Yeah, maybe we should re-record it and say we did plan it this way. But
Man.
That's pretty cool.
All right, well, welcome in, everybody. This is the episode right before the Fantastic Four movie. This coming week is going to be crazy. I mean, I think probably tomorrow or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Maybe even tonight was the world premiere. I don't know. I muted the word Fantastic Four on social media. I stopped. Actually, I technically have not watched any full clips that they've released. They released maybe like 3, I think, which is too much for me.
I don't want at this point. I'm with you. I want to go in with only what I've known prior to the 2 weeks up to it, and then let's just see what happens.
Yep, exactly.
But it's you guys. If you're watching this, it's officially Fantastic Four week.
Yeah, and you guys know how we felt about Superman. We don't have to talk about that, but just coming off of how we felt about Superman, I mean, I probably had the same level of excitement for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then with just how I felt about Superman, I am now, like, my expectations for FF are higher than ever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. I hate having high expectations because, you feel like, well, what if I'm getting disappointed? And there's a good chance I can get disappointed. But sometimes you go in with high expectations and they're met or exceeded.
Yeah.
And that's even better.
Yeah.
When's the last time that happened for me? Hard to say. Maybe Avengers Endgame. Definitely going way back to the 3 Lord of the Rings. Well, all 3 Lord of the Rings movies. The first one I was actually terrified that it was going to be bad. I was kind of thinking it would be bad.
Yeah.
But for the second one, I had high expectations. For the third one, they were sky high expectations, and they were exceeded. So yeah. Oh, this would be. Anyway, I'm very excited. You guys know.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Daredevil: Born Again. I had pretty high expectations for. Honestly, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I had decent expectations for, just because I'm a huge Kang fan. So
right, and he was great. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, he was great in the movie. The movie itself was. Actually, contrary to my love for the movie, I had pretty low expectations for the Batman, just because I was not yet aware of Robert Pattinson's rebrand.
Right.
From Twilight.
Hit the timer. How long did it take before Pattinson came up?
We're talking about expectations. That's a movie that.
Well, so now though for the sequel, your expectations.
Oh yeah. No. For FF though, I would say I have I'm still not fully sold on Pedro for Reed. Mm-hmm. I don't think the trailers have moved the needle either way for me. I think I still have what's the word?
Reservations?
No, Pedro not exhaustion, but
fatigue.
Yeah, I have Pedro fatigue a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I haven't loved the Invisible Woman casting in the trailers, but again, trailers are totally different from a movie.
I think Sue Storm is going to be I know just from the previews, it's clear that she's going to have a very proactive part, maybe more than anyone else in the family, so to speak.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I have the lowest expectations for Human Torch, that actor. Mm-hmm. I don't think I haven't seen him in enough stuff, and I just don't think he fits the vibe. I think Chris Evans from the OG Fantastic Four is a hard follow up, because he played that role so well. But Eben Moss-Bachrach, who's playing the Thing, I'm most excited for him because I love the Bear. If you guys watch the Bear, I mean, he is incredible. And this last season that came out in June, I mean, every time we watch an episode, my wife and I was just like, he's going to be such a good Ben Grimm. And it got to a point where she was like, you need to give me money every time you say this because this is...
Trying to watch the bear.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you're doing this too much.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But anyways, we'll get into more of that and our expectations. We kind of just...
We're just so excited we jumped in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But today we went to a con today, which is why, I mean, we're recording this, what, 10 hours before this goes live.
Yeah, we're really getting under the wire here.
So this is, what time is it? It's 9:45 p.m. Sunday night.
Yeah.
And this goes live 7 a.m. PST.
We're dedicated. We're making it happen.
I half debated doing an audio only stream, but I voted against it.
Well, it wouldn't be very much fun to show the things we got at the con.
Show and tell, yeah.
On radio, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, we went to a con today in LA. That was fun. Talk a little bit about that. We have news. Maybe we don't have news. My Twitter signed me out for some reason. Anyway, let's see if I can get signed in. Show and tell news. We'll talk about the con. Talk about FF, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's kind of like we said last time. This is the sort of calm before the storm. We're gonna have a lot of good content today because of the con and stuff, but it's still, we're all collectively and even the podcast kind of holding our breath for Thursday. We have our tickets for Thursday.
Yeah.
We're going with our wives and another couple. So it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Jumping the gun again. Okay. I'll stop.
Okay. Here we go. Not much. Oh, wait. Why am I starting with news? See, look.
Look, 9 o'clock. We're not responsible for our actions. It's 9:45. I have no idea what's going to happen in this episode.
True. I mean, I'm beat, but that's all right. We're here.
Yeah.
All right. Show and tell.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go first because I have a lot. Let's get out of the way because I only bought 2 books at the con, and I'm going to show you those 2 books. But first, I'm going to show you the 2 books that I hinted at last episode because I had said, yeah, I'm going to have a couple more Golden Age books to show because I had picked a couple of them up on a claim sale and they arrived last week, and I'm really excited to show you guys. So I'll quickly show you those 2, and then I'll jump into what about the con, which I'm also really excited to show you. But let me start with these 2. I'm going to show them both at the same time, and I'll just stick them up. They're 2 pre-code horror books. Spook number 30. There you go. And I think that's from 1954. And This is Shock Detective Cases 21 from 1952. And they look like they're by the same artist. And if you're thinking L.B. Cole, you'd be probably 75% right. This is an L.B. Cole cover. It is in case you're listening rather than watching, it is a cream to off-white pages 5.0 universal. Gorgeous colors on this cover, right? Just beautiful. And this is L.B. Cole all the way, says so right here. And I picked these up on a claim sale from El Jefe. I think it's El Jefe Comics, but anyway, shout out to El Jefe. Good, thanks for the deals. And this one, I bought them combined offer. This one is an interesting one. Spook 30. It's the last issue of the Spook line. These are both Atlas comics, and I love the Atlas covers. They all kind of have that colorful, flamey look. Anyway, this one is 5.0 off-white pages. And if you go on eBay and you look this up, Spook issue 30, you will find in at least half the listings the claim that this is an L.B. Cole cover. It is not an L.B. Cole cover. It is a J. Disbrow cover. J. Disbrow was a contemporary, or really was mentored by L.B. Cole, and you can certainly see the influence. The reason I say it's not, if you thought they were both L.B. Cole, you're not just 50% right, but more like 75% right, because I can't verify this one way or the other, but I have read and heard people claim that this was colored by L.B. Cole, though not credited as colored by L.B. Cole. Now, I don't know if that's true or it's not true. I don't want to take anything away from J. Disbrow. He's an excellent artist in his own right. But anyway, these 2 together, and I'll take them down, Joshua, for you, to give you room. But just for now. Look at those two together. How cool are those? Like, that's a whole genre of Golden Age. Is that pre-code horror, of course, but I'm not a huge EC pre-code horror collector. You know, I understand why people are, because they're amazing books, but I'm finding that I like the Atlas books a lot because you see a lot of flames, there's a lot of Satan type covers in there. That Terrifying Tales that I showed, the one with I think it's 2.0 with like cream to brittle pages or something like that.
Yeah.
It was also an Atlas, and the three together look like a perfect trio. And two of them are LB Cole, one is Disbrow. So anyway, those came this week, both of them in perfect mid-grade 5.0 copies. Love adding these to the collection.
Yeah,
so,
heck yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. I'll take these off now. Sorry that I'm hogging all this stuff with the thing, but what can I tell you? And then these are the two that I picked up today. The first one is a Walt Disney's Comics and Stories issue. I think that's what issue 89. I can't remember my glasses.
Volume 8, number 5.
Number 5
from 1948.
And overall number 89. Okay, so that's it. And this is a Carl Barks story and art inside the issue. That's not, he didn't do his first Donald Duck cover until later on in 1948. So this is February 1948, not his first cover. I was hoping it was a Carl Barks cover. It's not. But what's really cool about it, it's in really nice shape. I'd put that, it's probably like a 6.5-ish in that range for a 1948 Carl Barks Donald Duck. It's amazing. It's got the stamp on it here from a like some kind of a nickel and dime store in Greensville, South Carolina, which I think is really cool. I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then the other thing about it, though, if you look at Key Collector, it is a key. And the key is it's the first time Chip and Dale appear in comics, named Chip and Dale. There's a Chip and Dale story at the back of this comic book. And they appear in an earlier comic book just as two chipmunks, but they're not named, and they're certainly not called Chip and Dale as a collection. Now I know some of you debauched minds are thinking, Chip and Dale, you mean like the male strippers? No, there are no male strippers in a Walt Disney's comics and stories, okay? Chip and Dale, they're cute little chipmunks.
Squirrels,
okay?
yeah.
I'm sorry they've been appropriated by our
culture.
Our culture, but no, Chip and Dale's used to be really innocent.
Look at him accusing you guys.
Yeah.
No one ever thought that.
Oh yeah, you're right. We know that we have a completely wholesome audience.
The hobby as a whole is completely wholesome.
There's no bondage covers and no good girl covers. No, we don't even know what those are.
No headlights.
No, nothing. None of that stuff. Nope.
They all wear long dresses.
As far as we're concerned, it's all Comics Code's authority.
Yeah, the women wear dresses on the covers and the men wear suits.
That's it.
That's
all.
Just a nice three-piece suit.
No
the men wear.
Of the innocent going on here.
No.
So anyway, this book was less than $50.
Awesome.
And that's not like I got some kind of a steal. It's a little bit less than FMV. And if it comes back at 6.5, it's going to be a much better deal than I think. But even so, this is a surprisingly inexpensive book.
Yeah.
For Chip and Dale's first appearance.
Yeah.
And it being Carl Barks. So there's that one.
Anybody, you can comment. What is Alvin and the Chipmunks' first appearance?
Yeah, I knew that once, but I don't remember what it is.
If that's a Dell comic, then there might be one Dell comic I'd like. Actually, Rocky and Bullwinkle. I wouldn't mind owning that because I loved the movie growing up.
Yeah.
That's CGI.
Those guys were pretty. Like there's a lot of innuendo in Rocky and Bullwinkle, which is actually
really
which is actually kind of fun. Like there's really not necessarily sexual, but it's just adult humor in it.
Interesting.
Jokes in Rocky and Bullwinkle. That would be a cool one to get. Like first Rocky and Bullwinkle, first Alvin and Chipmunks, and they're out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how cheap they are, but I don't think certainly not as expensive as the superhero stuff.
Yeah, that like late 90s, early 2000s movie with Robert De Niro. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah, I used to watch that movie. I had the movie on VHS.
I remember the cartoons when I was a kid.
Yeah, I never watched those.
Yeah.
But
hey, Rocky, I can't do voices. I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have tried.
but yeah, that movie, I used to have that movie on just repeat.
Yeah, it's good.
So maybe I'll keep an eye out for Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, do keep an eye out for it. I'm going to look it up. All right, so here's the big prize from
Heck yeah.
from today, and this one caught my attention.
It's 9.8 FF1.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm out. I got my Grail. It's my Grail of Grails is complete. This one caught my eye within the first 45 minutes of the con. I usually go in, especially if it's a small con, and I just try to just peruse the wall. I don't get caught up in the things yet, because if there's a book that I really want, it's usually a wall book that I'm hunting, and if it's there, I want to at least get first dibs on it before, if I can. So I'll go rather quickly and scan the walls and move along. In this case, I scanned the wall, found this book, saw that the price was within budget, asked to take a look at it, and it was really a pretty copy. So it's now added to my collection, and another one checked off the list of 8 that I'm looking for. And this is Batman number 69, Catwoman cover.
Ooh.
Featuring the King of the Cats, and in this story, I've read the story because I have, believe it or not, I have the story pages of this comic in my collection. I bought it on eBay. It was just this 8 pages of story or whatever it was. So I've read the story.
How much was it?
It was like $40, something like that. So I just thought it'd be cool to have, sort of a placeholder.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in this story, I won't spoil it, but the Batman is in distress because Catwoman is professing love for this guy, the King of Cats. She says, yes, I do love him, but we don't know who he is, and don't understand why the Catwoman is forsaking Batman to help this person out. Should I go ahead and spoil it? I think I should.
Yeah.
But you find out at the very end, the big twist of this story is that the King of Cats is actually her brother. And that's why she loves him. She loves him because it's her brother. And he like is kind of crazy and needs help, basically. But it's a really nice, I don't know if you guys, how well you can see this, but it's a really nice copy. I'd put it somewhere between a 4 or 5. We kind of put it at a 4 or 5 or a 5. And it's possible that it could be a 4. It's possible that it could be a 5.5. It's kind of one of those things, but it just has a little chip off the corner here, a little bend on the corner here, and just not really much else going on wrong with this book. And the back is beautiful. I mean, I don't know if I should take it out of the bag or not, but I'll wait.
I'll leave it in there.
When I get it slabbed, I'll show you the back, which I am going to do, as you know. So I only now need 2 more Catwoman Golden Age covers to complete my run. There are only 8 Catwoman covers. And her first one is the one I'm really chasing, Detective Comics 122. That was at the convention too. And it was literally 5 feet from the booth where I bought this one. And you know how it goes, like when you're at a convention and you buy a book and then, the wall is basically open and you're on a roll. I was ready to pull the trigger. I'm like, let me see it.
Wow.
I walked over, I said, can I take a look at that book? Because it was, it's not cheap. It was $1,200, but $1,200 is not expensive for that book at all.
Yeah.
The back cover the back cover was missing. But even so, if the front cover looked good, I was like, well, this might be the way I get it, and I was willing to do it, but the front cover had some writing on it and was chewed up as well, which is to be expected if the back cover is missing.
Right.
So I decided I'm going to continue to be patient on that book.
Yeah.
It'll come when it comes. But anyway, the only 2 left are Detective Comics 122 and Batman 65. And that's it. And then I will have all 8.
Dang.
And I think
what a journey.
I think that'll probably happen before the year's up, but it may not.
Boom, boom, boom.
We'll see.
Make sure you have post notifications on every week so you can see.
You never know. Well, I'm hyper focused now because I'm not going to say why, because I have there's other runs I'm working on that I've kind of come to the end of that I'm going to spoil.
Yes.
So I will save that for probably next week.
Yeah.
It'll be my show and tell. Come to think of it. So anyway, look at me making promises all the time. Did you see my little Mr. Longbox thing?
Yeah, he got his.
I got mine now.
Yeah. All right. I'm saving my proper show and tell for last. But I'm just going to speed run through what I got at the con today. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books total, 2 for the PC and 8 for inventory. I found a nice deal at this dude's booth. He just had like I don't know, it was like a $10 to $20 box with just honestly some decent stuff in there. So this first one, Strange Tales 132. I've kind of been into these early Strange Tales where they have the FF and Spider-Man and stuff. A lot of Human Torch also.
Yeah, tons.
I think they're really cool. I grabbed this one just because it says it's clobbering time on the cover. And
that's great.
You know, I don't actually think I've ever seen another Silver Age cover where he's said it.
I was just about to say that may be the first time that's ever been said on a cover.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, this is probably about a 5.0 condition. This is Strange Tales 132.
Great book.
Yeah, really cool one. This other one is Superboy 100. There is a map of Krypton in this book. This note on the back also says first Phantom Zone villain. So I don't know, maybe something will come of it. But Superboy 100, pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is the first appearance of Peter Parker's parents, The Amazing Spider-Man King Size Special number 5. I got it for $20, pretty cheap. I thought nothing was wrong with it, but it looks like there's about 1.5 inch tear here on the bottom right spine.
Square bound, right?
Yeah, square bound. But still, I mean, for $20 for this, a Romita cover,
Yeah, stick some glue on it, dude.
not bad.
Yeah, that's great. It's crazy 5 years it took to mention his parents.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's a lot.
This one is, I didn't notice it when I was looking at the book, which I don't know how I didn't notice it. I guess I was moving kind of fast through the books because I was like, my legs were getting tired and there was like good books in there and I was just trying to get through them all. Overall, this presents well, but it does look like it has like a hole punch or I don't know, maybe like a bug ate through it. It's small though.
Like a larvae was there and it just ate its way through.
Yeah,
all
but it's
the way through.
Only on one part of the book. Anyways, this is Tales of Suspense 97. First appearance of Whiplash. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got this for like, I think it was $10. Even with this like little hole punch through.
Fine.
I mean,
I've seen in the CGC grading guide, they give, that is, you can still have a high grade with that.
really
Surprisingly. Yeah. It's a lot easier on that than you are on, say, like you hole punched it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something ate through it just because it's a.
Yeah. And literally all the way through, like you can see through it.
Yeah, but I mean, the rest of the book is really nice.
I mean, you could hang it on your Christmas tree.
So, this next one is Thor 161. Thor 160, 161, and 162 are all a Galactus story, and then 169 is the origin of Galactus. I have 160 and 162, and I have a copy of 161 in my inventory. And so I got this one because it looks like it's about a 6.0 range. I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. But one is to keep and one is to sell. So yeah, this is 161. Just thought I'd buy one to replace whatever copy I decided to keep.
Those Thor covers. They're so colorful.
Yeah.
He's fighting Ego. That's cool.
Yeah, Galactus versus Ego with Thor in the middle. This one was it was like $10. FF73. Thor, Spidey, and Daredevil versus Reed, The Thing, and Human Torch. Yeah, I don't know why that was so cheap.
I don't know.
I mean, it's not like crazy high grade, but it's also not crazy low grade either.
It's a tough book because of the white cover.
I mean, this looks like maybe a 5.5. I mean, I haven't taken it out yet, still to see, but I mean, it presents well enough. So yeah, there's that. That'll be a fun book to crack out. And this is the last book. This is Batman issue 145, and it says here Batman 2 and Robin 2 meet the son of the Joker. And Oh, so it is the sons. Oh, this is an older Joker and an older Bruce. So Bruce says, ironically, my son, who is now the new Robin, is overcoming the son of my old enemy, the Joker. So there's 2 Batmans, 2 Jokers, and 1 Robin on here. But a cool issue 145. Is this the first? Oh, this is the second 12-cent issue.
Wow.
Oh, it's on the back. I didn't even see that.
It looks. We were talking about this at the con when it looks like a Golden Age book.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it feels like an homage to a Golden Age cover, but it is not. It's pretty young into the Silver Age. I mean, this.
Yeah.
Like, look, it has the exact same trade dress as this one.
Yeah.
And this is issue 69, but it's the same. So I was wondering, is that a throwback trade dress? Did they do it to make it look, or were they still using that same trade dress? I'll have to look it up, but it's like a Silver Age book that looks like a Golden Age book.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I just grabbed this because I don't have enough DC and Silver Age DC in my inventory. And I mean, you go a Joker cover, like that's a.
Plus, it's got two Jokers and 2 Batmen and 2 Robins.
And you know what? One of the things that kind of drew me to this book is this Robin, Batman issue 145. This Robin looks like, oh, look at that. This, the Mylar's ripped. This Robin looks like Carrie, the Robin that Frank Miller made. I mean, that's his son. That's a boy. So, obviously not the same, but the design could be inspired.
And the first appearance of that Carrie is in the Dark Knight Returns run of 4. I just don't know which one. I know her first cover appearance is issue 3 of the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
What I understand is that DC has asked Frank Miller if they can develop that character, and he keeps telling them no. I'm not sure why he has the right to tell him that, but apparently that was in his contract because that's his character.
Yeah.
This could be a sleeper.
Yeah.
Dark Knight 2.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Could be the new Teen Titans 2 of that run.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody ran for NTT 1, but first Deathstroke became the more valuable of the 2.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be weird after all this time if Dark Knight Returns 2 became the one? It is a sick cover.
No kidding. All right. So the 2 on my PC, I'm only going to show you guys one. And then I'll save the other one that I got for another show and tell, probably next week. But this one is, you guys know, I completed my Doom search of covers, at least for the Silver Age and like that early bronze. So every cover on the 12 and 15 cent Doom I own, from Hulk title to Avengers to FF, got them all.
Wow.
Bronze Age, obviously you get them on a lot more, but this is early bronze, and this is one that I've been looking for a while, but I've been holding out for the right copy. I've seen this book a lot in lower grade. It's easy to find in lower grade, but I want a high grade, and I found it today, and I got a good deal. We just took it out the bag right before this, and we're thinking this is a 9.6, 9.8 candidate. So the back is spotless, and there's a few indents on the front cover that can be pressed out, so I'll do that. But this is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, issue number 9. A really cool, underrated Doom cover with the blue and the green and him fighting Luke Cage. It's all really cool. I think Luke Cage... Does he owe him money? I don't know.
I think that's what you said was the story.
Yeah, I think he owes him money. So I think that's why he's chasing him down.
Pay me my money.
Oh, Luke Cage Hero for Hire 9. That's I think that's the final for all the 20 cent. And
wow, congrats, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, so
and you got it ahead of the whole Doomsday thing and RDJ. So you're set. You're ready. You're locked and loaded.
I am. So
it's a great book. It's you just pulled it out just 5 minutes before we started recording, and you're like, this is a 9.8 candidate.
Yeah.
And then you showed it to me, and I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with it. You're like, well, there's something that maybe could be pressed here. I don't, but this.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it lays flat as is. It just looks like maybe there was something that was like sitting on the cover because there's like a small indent.
Yeah, they will pick on that. I know. I've got a few 9.6s are like finger indents. Somebody actually read the comic.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry.
Yeah, we actually read it. My bad.
But yeah, that's our show and tell.
Yeah.
I mean, we both contributed to stuff we've been collecting in a pretty significant way.
Yeah, big time. It was a fun convention. It was a small. I mean, it could, from what I was listening to some of the dealers and the organizers. Because you're by the tables and they're chit chatting.
Yeah.
First off, a lot of foot traffic. It was crowded.
Yeah.
Which I like a convention to be, because then everybody's in a better mood. The dealers are in a better mood. They're selling books,
Yeah.
and they want to keep selling, so deals can be had. When no one's there, no one's shopping there. It's you just kind of have this cloud hangs over it, right? Which you see at the bigger conventions.
Yeah.
This is a small convention, and every table had a lot of people at it, and people were buying. So that was a lot of fun, and it was only comics except for one room that had about half of the edge was original art, which I'm purposely avoiding.
Yeah,
because I can't afford to get into it.
Yeah, no way.
I understand it. I get it 100% the appeal. I just can't let myself go there. It's just too expensive. But I had a blast, man. It was and it was put together. I think the reason. How this thing came about.
Yeah,
right?
TorpedoCon, which we normally go to, we've gone the last 2 years. Didn't happen this year because like the promoter just wasn't around, so it just didn't happen. And TorpedoCon always falls on the weekend before SDCC because all the dealers are in town already. So, they just kind of throw this like, get the books in before the big con type thing. Yep. And these dealers, they also don't bring everything. They just bring like a smaller version of, like I heard one dealer saying, somebody was asking him like if he had this book. And he's like, I actually don't have that. He's like, but if you're in San Diego, like I'll have it there. Yeah. So, the dealers still wanted to put on a show. And I think enough people wanted to still go to a show because honestly, Torpedo is cool.
Yeah. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, even if this didn't happen and Torpedo came back, like I'd be fine with that.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's cool. Like Torpedo, it's a comic show, like strictly comics. And then they have like Jim Lee and Bill Sienkiewicz signing. So those are like cool.
Those are cool
touches.
Sienkiewicz doesn't always, he's not an easy sig to get.
Yeah. And I mean Jim Lee is the head of DC Comics.
Yeah.
Like
it's a big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome that he comes to these things. So that's great. So I think people just still wanted to get together because not all of us can get into SDCC. Like it's a lottery.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. So people still on the show. So it came together and it happened. It just popped up at like a community center out in LA. So I was looking around because I was trying to figure out why it wasn't happening. Like even I went to the IG page and they said that it was postponed. And like part of me just didn't believe it. I was like, these dealers are all here. Like something has to be happening.
Yeah.
So I went digging around and I found on a CGC forum that the dealers were like, just had heard enough from their customers that they still wanted a show. So
it was really this organic thing, this impromptu organic. Did it even have a name? I mean, it's just
no, I don't think it did.
We just got together in Torrance at some not a major convention center because I didn't want to.
No, it was literally a community center.
Just a community center. Yeah. And I think I heard them say that the tables were, I don't want to like spill anybody's secrets, but they were good. It was a good deal to get a table there, and that there were more people wanting to come in with tables than they had room for. So anyway, it was. I'm glad they did it. We had a great time.
Yeah.
It was, and some crazy books.
Yeah.
I mean, San Diego Comic-Con books before San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So we saw Eerie 1. We saw Marvel Comics 1 and a CBCS 9.4. Cap 1.
The Mask.
Tech 29, 31. The Mask, the classic LB Cole.
Yeah.
I mean, it had all the bangers. I didn't see a Tech 27. I didn't see an Action 1 there, but I saw a Cap 1 and a Superman 1.
I saw Superman 9.
I saw Superman 1.
I didn't see that.
Well, it wasn't for sale. It was like two dealers were talking about making some kind of trade. There was Superman 1 involved. There was an AF-15 involved.
Ooh.
There was and the book on the other end of it was was a Cap 1 3.0 or 3.5 restored, and on the other end of it was the offer was Batman 1 in like a 3, like a 1.5. It was a 1.5, and A15 in a 3.5. But and I was like, ooh, this is fun to watch. They didn't strike a deal because the guy already had a buyer for the Cap 1. But they both agreed they would rather have the Cap 1. Even though monetarily the Batman 1 and the A15 come out to more money, the Cap 1 is just that much more hard to get.
And it's a better cover.
Yeah, it's just rare, and it's just it's a great cover.
I mean, who doesn't want to see Hitler get punched?
Not nobody. Everybody wants to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was anyway. So yeah, banger books. Good time, great time. I love it.
Yeah,
cons are fun.
So there was a lot of people, but honestly, at the same time, it cleared out way sooner than I've seen another.
By 3:00,
it was almost empty.
Yeah, it was starting to empty out by 2. By 3, it was mostly dealers looking at other dealers, and the thing was supposed to go till and did go till 5.
Yeah.
But it's Sunday in LA. Like people are trying to get back to where they got to go or whatever. But which is cool because they were raffling stuff off, and I thought I might have a chance because like who's left.
Yeah.
But I think they allow the dealers to have raffles as well, which is fair. I mean, they're paying the money, so that's cool. But I came close. They're raffling off some pretty cool stuff. Like they got it. They got into within 10 of my number. So that'd have been within 10 of your number because we were back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, it did clear out pretty quickly, which I was a little shocked by. Like there was a point where I was like, oh yeah, there's a good amount of people in here. And then I feel like I blinked, and then I was like, oh, there's like nobody near me right now.
Yeah, that was wild.
There was some dealers with like really good prices that I probably should have spent more time at. But the thing that I struggle with is when they have the books in like a polypropylene or a Mylar, and then they put it in like one of these things. I don't know what these are called, but like
they're Mylar, like the old school Mylars.
The Mylar like slip thing. It's hard because those like Mylar slip, that's what I'll call it, they get dirty like really quick. So it's like you can't get a good gauge on the condition of the book. And honestly, I don't know why they're still used.
I don't think they are. I think these are just holdouts. Speaking of someone who bought those bags when they were the only thing running.
Yeah.
They just last forever. So it's hard to throw them out. Like it's hard to.
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, the paper is oxidizing and getting creamier as we speak.
That's a good point. I've heard dealers say that back in the day when this was all you had, if you looked closely, you could go through all these in the long boxes, and you could see like dried blood on here.
Oh my gosh!
Because you cut your fingers on this.
Yeah, sure.
And it's just the way it was.
Interesting. So there was one dealer specifically that had some really good prices, but there were some other dealers that were like, I
think the one you're talking about is where I got this one. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Or the guy next to him, maybe, I think, but they kind of were blended in.
Yeah. I was there I spent a long time there, and I wanted to buy more from him than I did, but this kind of busted my budget.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah. I was looking at like some bronze HASM. It's like just nothing, like just a run of the mill bronze HASM, and it had like a $350 price tag on it. And I'm just like, what do you reprice your books, man? Come on. It's been years.
There's always one or two, and I hope they.
It's more than one or two.
I know.
I'd say it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
You're nicer than me though. Yeah. I'll complain. I mean, I'm in it now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. You get to see it from that side more.
Yeah.
And there's a case for it. There's a case for like, well, I'll overprice my books and I'll come down, but do they come down? And then they kind of put the onus on you.
Yeah.
I ran into another content creator there.
Yeah.
Swaggle House.
Yeah.
He was there, and he came. He just kind of was at the same booth as me, and it's kind of funny because I was using my phone camera and zoom so I could see some
binoculars.
Yeah, basically turning them into binoculars so I could see the prices, and I could also get a better look at the condition without having to ask and doing that. And all of a sudden I hear this very familiar voice, a very distinct and familiar voice. He said, "Yeah, you got the right idea," something like that. And I just, I didn't want to. I didn't want to embarrass him or say
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I love your videos," but Swaggle House, if you're watching, that was cool, and I do love your videos.
You got to get like one of those like director cameras. I don't know if you've ever seen like,
Yeah,
it's like the lens.
my friend Matt's got one of those.
Yeah.
I should ask him for it.
Get and bring it to the cons. Yeah.
People are like, what does this do right here?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm getting a little, I like going to cons, and I honestly don't think I'll stop going to cons, but I'm getting tired of just like, even for the like stuff in the PC, like I mean, I shopped for my PC today and I paid fair market value for stuff, but it's tough to shop at cons. I'm like, man, this is like, I want to support your business.
Yeah.
And you got books that I want. I just can't justify paying you this. Like,
you know what I totally agree. And here's the mindset I use when I go to cons. At least I use it today. I'm like, you know what? It's like a holiday. I get to go and I'm going for the whole experience of walking in. By the way, it only cost $10 to get into this thing, and it was free parking. It was really great.
Free parking is,
it's so clutch in LA, or anywhere. So free parking, $10, and you go inside, and it's like a day at Disneyland for me.
Yeah.
I to walk around, and it's like going to the museum of my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm have the option of coming home with some of it. And I expect to overpay.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like I overpay for a hot dog at Dodger Stadium or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, I know, as we all do, the best deals to be had are on claim sales. It's hands down.
Yeah.
And then second behind that would be the consignment books that I see on Instagram. And I don't know much about Whatnot or Shortbox. I've managed to avoid them for now, but we'll see, right?
Yeah.
eBay, sometimes you get lucky on an auction.
Honestly, eBay bids, like you can have some serious success on eBay bids.
Yeah. You just gotta be patient. Patience is the key.
There's times when I'm pricing books, and so I've said this before. I don't do like anomalies, like an anomaly high sale or an anomaly low sale. Like I look for trends when I'm pricing books.
Yeah.
There's times where I'm like pricing a book, and I'm going through eBay sold, and I see a bid, and I'm like, they paid cheaper than I did for this book.
Yeah.
And I can't use it to price because it's an anomaly low sale. But yeah, I mean,
it happens.
I think eBay has come back around where it's more of a viable place.
Well,
you have to pay tax, which sucks, but hey, you can get some steals for sure.
So I don't look. I'm not happy to way overpay for a book at a convention. I'm
Totally.
not doing that. But one thing that's fun is that you can, if you have something that you're definitely looking for, you can find 3 or 4 copies of it maybe, and then you can kind of move around, make your and really kind of get your hands on it, look at it, and you pay a little bit of a premium to be able to walk out the door with it that day. No shipping, no tax typically, and you're getting the exact thing you're getting. It's like there's no like waiting for it to come in the mail, and oh gee, I forgot, I didn't know the pages were so there's that, and so. But I've sat in this chair and complained about ridiculous prices at cons before.
Yeah,
so.
to even give an example to your point is there was a copy of ASM 13, the first Mysterio, that I was looking at. His dealer had it for $950, which was about a little over $100 the last sale, and higher than last sale, 90-day average, 2024 average, and 2023 average. Still close, but about $100 over. But I'm looking at this book and I'm like, man, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
But this is like, the last sale was $840. The sale before that was like in the mid sevens. The last 2 sales before that were in the mid 700s. And so I asked him if he had any movement. I asked him if he would match the last sale. He said no. So I was like, okay, I'll come. Like, would you do this? Like, I came up like a decent amount. He said, no, I'm going to be firm on this. And I was like, all right. So I walked away and I was like really thinking about it. I was like, man, it's just such a nice book. Like, I think I wouldn't mind overpaying. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, do I want to spend that much right now? And so then I went back and he changed the sticker on it.
Yeah.
And he moved the price up. And at that point, like I kind of had like more of like a moral dilemma with it. But I think if I would have asked him like, hey, would you honor like the sticker that we first talked about? I'm confident he would have.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking about it, and I was thinking about this book like most of the show. So then, like towards the end of the show, I was gonna go look at it one more time, and it was gone. And so somebody paid something for it. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a part of me, or I think there's definitely a version of me in another universe
that owns it right
that
now.
probably didn't think too much about it, that bought that book. Yeah. But that's definitely one of those books that's like, you know what? It is like priced high comparatively to all the like averages, you know, but I think I might be willing to. Obviously, it didn't happen. But that's like that in that instance, I'm not too mad about that. It is annoying because it's like we could have struck a deal.
Yeah.
Like based on market. So that part of it is annoying. But there's definitely books that, like I said, Bronze Age Spider-Man that's like going for $315. It's like, what are we talking about here? Like this is kind of crazy. So I'm still saying just be careful when you're out there.
Yeah. Yeah. The data is available. There's no reason to buy blind.
Yeah.
This book right here, if it's and I asked him, the dealer, hey, what can I take it out of the bag? We looked at it. I looked at all the pages, checked the centerfold, all that stuff. Looked at staples, looked at page quality, and then I asked him because I think it's fair to ask the dealer to stand by his pricing. I said, well, what grade would you put it in? And he said, yeah, it's around a 4 or 5. And I'm like, okay, so if he's saying it's 4 or 5, then is a 4 or 5 price close to what his price was? And the 4 or 5 price was higher than what his price was by a considerable amount. So I know I got a good deal on this book, but if it comes back a 4.0, I still got a good deal.
Yeah.
If it comes back a 5, then I got to. Ironically, Go Collect has no difference between a 4.5 and a 5.0 in fair market value right now. It's odd. It's weird. I don't. That just means that recent sales. That's what it reflects. But obviously, anyway, yeah. But incidentally, it was the same guy.
Yeah, same guy. Yeah,
same guy.
And he moved a decent amount for you too. You negotiated, but I think I heard him tell another customer, like talking about, he's pretty firm on his ASM prices. Like he doesn't move.
So we were thinking he probably went from 950 to whatever he moved it up to
give himself wiggle room,
so that he could get 950.
Yeah.
So that a little wiggle room to come down, because people do expect to be able to make an offer.
Yeah.
At a con. So,
and this guy, I've spent at the last 2 Torpedo Cons, I've spent over $1,000 with him each year. So I was ready to do it again.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly,
he's the guy that I bought this from.
Yeah,
I did go back and buy that.
Yeah,
from him.
he's a favorite of ours.
Yeah.
I kept going back to him because he had such amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Great wall books. And I mean, I've talked about this. I love it when you have short boxes in front, and it's golden age short boxes you can go through. There were a few dealers like that.
Yeah. Well, one thing that does bother me about cons is, he does it, and others do it too, is not putting the grade or condition on the book. Like, you're making me guess. Like, I can look through the Mylar and I can get an idea of the grade of the book, but I'm only seeing as far as like sections of a book, I'm seeing a third of the book.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that I just don't know. Like, you could have it priced at 500. Is it restored? Is it qualified?
Right.
Is
there
the
a
back
coupon cut out
cover?
of it? Yeah. Yeah.
How does the back cover look?
Yeah. You don't know.
Like,
and you are someone who meticulously goes through a book before he grades it. As a dealer. I know because I've sat across the table from you, and watched you go page by page and find inside of a collection of books, coupons cut out of this book. Like, you check all that stuff.
Yeah.
When you're looking at it, you got a light, you get, break out the magnifying glass, you're like scrutinizing this thing because the
director's binocular.
There it is. The jeweler's loop, the thing.
Yeah.
But I do think it's right to put the grade on it, because that's what you're claiming.
Yeah.
This is why it costs this much. But I understand why a dealer wouldn't want to do it, because then it can't be pinned down. I bought a book from somebody, a pretty big book, recently at a convention. where they said it was a 4 or 5, and I bought it at a 4 or 5 price, well, a little less,
Yeah.
and it came back 3.5.
Yeah.
I don't blame the guy because I got to look at the book, but at least take a stand and say this is what I think it is, and therefore this is what the price is.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't want to do it because they don't want to give you a reason to say, "Hey, you ripped me off, you lied," or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But I mean, you when you sell a book, you grading is, I won't say it's subjective because it's not subjective. It's not entirely objective, but it's not subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, there are standards we all accept, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to be selling books, you should be confident and competent to get within, get it right most of the time, or if not right, within a half a point one way or the other. And
Yeah.
that's fair. CGC, by the way, isn't the arbiter of truth on this, because you
Totally.
can send the same book 3 times, you get 3 different grades. So we can't forget that there are humans on the other end grading this thing too. It was easier in my day when really you just look at a book and go, yeah, this is fine, very fine.
Yeah.
And you're right. You could all agree that's what it is, or this is a very fine book, or this is a VG copy, or this is a near mint copy. Now you're talking about, is it 9.2 or is it a 9.4?
Yeah.
Is it a 1.5 or is it a 1.8?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really tough.
Right.
Anyway, I totally agree. You got it. If you're going to sell, I think you should you should plant the flag. This is the grade you calling it.
Yeah. I think it for me, when I'm looking at books, now I'm familiar with the seller, so it doesn't bother me as much with him because I've reliably bought from him. I bought raw books from him, and I bought a pretty big grail from him a couple years ago, raw. Batman 227.
Yes.
And I pulled it out the bag with him.
I remember that.
Yeah, we went through it together. And a book like that, like I'm gonna ask, a book like this, I'm just gonna take the gamble. Like, this looks near mint in the Mylar. I'm gonna hope that the back cover is, I've done this with him before. I trust where he's at. So but if I was a first time buyer, I might have been like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend that much on that book. Like, I don't know, what does the back cover look like? This has no notes. But anyways, so we pulled the book out, the 227. We looked at it together. I did the same thing you did. I asked him, what do you think is? And he's like, like 5.5. You probably have a shot at a 6. And that's where my mind was at. So I was like, okay, cool. Shook hands, made a deal. It came back at 6.5. So I know he's undergrading. So that's with him, I have a little bit more confidence, looking at the books. But when I do see dealers that I'm not familiar with do that, and they have a price on the book but no grade, my first thought is, where are you getting the price from? Like, to me, are you just pulling it out of thin air?
Or based on what you paid for it, which is totally arbitrary as far as I'm concerned as a buyer.
Right, because then if you say near mint, $100 on this book, I want to be able to go, okay, what's it going for on eBay near mint? Right. And look up on eBay and pull up last sales and be like, oh, okay, this is where he's getting his information. Or pull up Overshoot Access and be like, oh, okay, this is where he's getting his information. So anyway, that's just a small gripe that I had. But
I had this revelation last week, and it was I won't say confirmed, but it was reinforced at the convention today. There was a ton of Golden Age at this convention.
There was.
I would say it was 50-50 on the of what's on the wall, maybe even 60-40 Golden Age on the wall. Now, once you get into the bins, it's going to tilt the other way, right? Because people aren't going to put too much Golden Age in the bins.
Yeah.
But I mentioned last time, there's a lot more Golden Age out there than if you want to collect Golden Age. There's a lot out there, but I have to kind of preface that by saying there's a lot of volume horizontally. Like, there's a lot of Golden Age books available. There's just not a lot of copies of each one that you want.
Yeah.
Not a lot of vertically available. Not a lot of copies on the census of a particular issue. But compared to Silver, there's actually more Golden Age books available than there are Silver Age in this regard. Silver Age is just 10 years.
Yeah.
It's from, if you want to go 1960, 1970, or if you want to say 58 to 70, whatever, but it's in that range, right? That's the Silver Age as we all kind of recognize it. But think about the Golden Age. Golden Age is either all the way through 1959 or up to 58, goes all the way back to you could say 38, but with Action One, but actually before that with Famous Funnies and all that, all the way back to like 1933.
Yeah.
So there's almost there's more than 20 years of publishing of Golden Age books.
Yeah.
And they didn't publish as many as they did in the Silver Age, but they published them for at least 13 years longer than the Silver Age. So there's a lot out there. So if you're going to be a Golden Age collector, and I'm just beginning to be a Golden Age collector, but what I've discovered, and so take it for what it's worth from someone who just kind of learning this stuff, you gotta be focused with Golden Age.
Yeah.
Because because every book's expensive. More, even the common Golden Age still going to cost you $50. No matter what? You don't see a lot of Golden Age in dollar bins, for example. You just have to hone in. Otherwise there's too much.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be like, and focus in. And then that may mean that you go to a convention, you just don't see it. It's just not there.
Yeah.
But be patient, because when the book comes up that you want, it's pretty great.
Yeah. I will say, so as not to be a total Debbie Downer, the Golden Age stuff is really well priced across the board. Like,
yeah.
I think there still might be like a little bit of holding on to what used to be with the boom and like Silver Age Marvel and stuff like that. And I think, there's still some just trying to get as much out of whatever is left of that. But with Golden Age, it seems like it's like everybody knows about it. And I think, at least like even from my perspective, is like, oh, I don't want to jump in that because it's expensive. Mm. But when I was digging through Golden Age boxes today, I was like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought. Like, for me, when I think about Golden Age, it would really only be like Batman and maybe some Supermans. I don't know that I could buy stuff like this just because emotionally it means nothing to me.
Yeah.
And that's just not the type of collector that I am. Like, I grew up reading Marvel, watching Marvel movies. So it's like, that's what I love. Like,
and there's something to that.
Yeah. But I didn't grow up looking at LB Cole covers.
No.
And so it's like I can appreciate it for what it is, and it'd probably be cool to have an LB Cole cover. But there's just nothing like emotionally there for me, like at least for like my PC.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah. But as I'm going through these Golden Age boxes, I was like, oh man, like I feel like if I was a Golden Age dealer, like I might be picking up a lot of this stuff, but I also don't know what I'm looking at for the most part.
There was an Eerie Comics #1 in a 7.0 universal grade for about $28K.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not buying a $28K book anytime soon, right? Who is?
Yeah.
But I thought that was very shockingly cheap for that book. I mean, I don't know what the FMV is. I'm not in the habit of looking for FMV of books like that. They're just
Blue Chip Comics had that. He's got crazy books.
They're Mount Rushmore books. But there are other books there that were in the $20,000 range. Some really beautiful. There was a 9.6 Human Torch 23, and the sticker price was 28, and the guy said I'd give it to you for 25. I said, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything to me. Right? You're giving me $3,000 deal. That's amazing, but 25,000, 100,000, they're both out of the range for me. But that's a book I used to own, so it was cool to to look at it. But if I had $28,000 to spend on any book at that convention, it would most definitely be Eerie 1, because I see that as a Mount Rushmore book. It's the first horror book. It's an Avon book, first horror book, bondage cover, red dress cover, but it's the first horror book. So it belongs on the Mount Rushmore,
Yeah.
And I just don't think there are too many copies around compared to other things, but I couldn't believe that was, Blue Chip Comics living up to their name.
Yeah, and Nakota, man, I walked up to him because he was right at the entrances, and while we were walking out, I walked up to him. He has a Startling Comics, what is it, like the first robot or something?
Oh, the one where the robot is carrying the girl.
Yeah,
in the water. Yeah, I think that's a Schomburg cover too.
Yeah, I walked up to him, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and he looked at me and I was like, hey, can I have that? And he was like, yeah, you can have it.
Here's the price. Yeah. What a book that is too.
Yeah, no kidding. Overall, I had a good time. Some frustrating moments for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say probably split 50-50. Like, prices were good. You can find good deals. You definitely have to put in the work. But they're out there. They're out there.
And I literally had about 4 books that I was looking for.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, and that was one of them. So,
Yeah. Something else that I was thinking about as far as like pricing and market is we live in California, and some of these dealers are from California. Some of them are not. Some of them are, they come from the Midwest, but California, it's tough to come by Golden Age collections like that. Like you'll find a lot of Marvel out here, but you're not going to find a ton of Golden Age.
Yeah, why is it? It's a small world. Like, come on, East Coasters, bring your comics over here.
Yeah,
but I suppose because people weren't moving to California until the '60s.
Yeah,
they really weren't. The boom time. My parents moved to California in 1968, 69.
Yeah,
and that's when everybody was coming.
Yeah,
and land was cheap back then. Hard to believe. And so it's not like the East Coast where people were living in those homes through the 30s, 40s, 50s, and those books are sitting there.
Yeah. So I think I can at least respect the fact that the LA economy is what it is, and it's a little bit tougher. So
why do you suppose I like these comics? Because I didn't grow up in those in the 50s either. Like,
yeah, but I mean you were closer to it, so it's like you might have seen these.
Well, I have a theory though. You know how in comics in the like from 1972, 73, you get the DC horror books.
Yeah.
And the Marvel horror books that nobody buys, but they buy the DC horror ones.
Yeah.
All those books, where monsters dwell and the
Neil
Wrights
Adams.
and stuff. Yeah, all the Dracula stuff, the
House of Mystery,
House of Secrets, all that stuff, because they relaxed the comics code in 72. But do you ever ask yourself, why did they relax the comics code in 72? Did they do it because kids were clamoring for horror books? No, they did it because there was this whole emergence of horror in pop culture. It's when it wasn't long after that we had The Exorcist come out as a movie.
Jaws.
We had this is my generation now, but Night Gallery, just really like scary, supernatural, ghosty, monstery movies were coming out during that time. Like they did in the 50s. Creature from the Black Lagoon was the 50s stuff.
Yeah.
But in the 70s, you started seeing like the House on Haunted Hill was a remake of a 1970s movie.
Yeah.
So, Rosemary's Baby. Anyway, I think that did affect me because I would have been, 5, 6, 7 years old at that time. And I remember having a Boris Karloff Bela Lugosi shirt, and Boris Karloff was played Frankenstein, and Bela Lugosi played Dracula in a couple of movies, and I had that T-shirt. It was orange, and I don't remember much more than that, but I remember being a part of that and having and I had a model that I put together, and it was a glow in the dark model of a werewolf. So I was a kid during the reemergence of the monster movie, and so that's probably why
the roots.
I'm gravitating toward what inspired them.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's probably a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I remember really liking those ghost stories as a kid, those ghost comics. I didn't keep any of them, but I loved reading them.
Yeah,
because I thought they were cool. The kind of like the remakes of the old EC stories. So that makes. I never thought of it until you said it, but that's interesting. I did grow up in a horror time period.
I mean, I see this, and I'm like, that's cool. And to be fair, I have no clue what you paid for it, but whatever you paid for it, I probably would not pay for it.
Nope.
But
nope. But now,
and you would.
I don't know if you guys remember. There's maybe a couple months ago that I brought that Terrifying Tales comic in, and it's the one with it's LB Cole cover. It's a 2.0, and it has Satan on the cover, and he's staring at a woman. It's kind of a creepy cover. It's like it belongs with these two. It's perfect. You put it 3 together. It's just like they're like a team.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. I was saying I'm thinking about maybe because Joshua asked me what will I do when I finish with this, because it's getting
the Catwoman.
Close. Yeah, the Catwoman run. I'm getting close.
Yeah.
And what will I do? What will be the next thing? And I'm really sold on the Golden Age right now. excites me.
I think you're going to do 2006 Marvel books.
All variant covers. But I think one of the things I thought about would be, well, it would be fun to get these types of books down here, the spook and the shock, and like these types of spooky covers that I really enjoy. But even that's too broad. But what if I just got, and I mentioned this cigar, what do you guys think? Just like devil covers.
Yeah.
Because that's like that mask is a devil cover.
Yeah.
Now that's the grail of all those. That's another $30,000 book. But that'd be kind of fun, right? Because you can get them, you can get all kinds.
Yeah.
And specifically the devil, but you could also get ones like with demons. You know, some people like to collect skull covers.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the skull. I like skull covers, but that wouldn't be the thing. Oh,
I like, for some reason, I like skulls. I have a skull tattooed on my thigh drinking espresso.
well, you have a skull on your neck, so everybody, you must.
Nice. You have a skull on your neck too.
Yeah, we all have skulls. So that's right. But, which reminds me, did you see the Punch?
The
Punch comics.
It was like a 2 hour or something like that.
Yeah, man. I mean,
2.5.
That's another kind of stop you in your tracks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was a really fun convention. I had a good time. I like conventions like that where you don't feel like you can't get through it all.
Yeah.
In one day.
Yeah, that's true. All right. There's that. Now we go off to news. Here. Okay, so I just opened Twitter when I signed back in, and I got a flood of news that came out today. Kevin Feige did an interview. So I'm going to speed run this.
Okay.
We'll get to that soon, but there's still some news that came out earlier in the week.
Okay.
Variety. DC Studios is thrilled with the Batman 2 script from Matt Reeves. Something people are saying in these comments is, why in the world does Matt Reeves have to listen to whatever James Gunn has to tell him about the script? Matt Reeves writes a far better script.
Yeah.
He should not be taking notes from James Gunn. I'm loosely quoting the internet there.
That's fair.
But yeah.
I would echo that sentiment.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully I think production will go after Dune 3 is done. So, the Wonder Woman movie is being fast tracked at DC Studios via Variety. So they're looking to get Wonder Woman out there.
Okay.
James Gunn says the DCU Batman will not be Robert Pattinson. He says Brave and the Bold and any additional DCU Batman movies will not release the same calendar year as Matt Reeves' Batman movies. So,
okay.
But that'd be pretty cool. I mean, every year we'll get Batman in some form.
And a different... I'm totally fine with that. A different Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer it actually at this stage.
Yeah.
Because the Batman is, I don't want that getting, I just want that to stay the tone that it has.
Yeah. That comes from an interview that James Gunn did with Joshua Horowitz, who's a notable journalist in the pop culture film scene. This is another one. These next couple about James Gunn are all from that same interview. James Gunn says his next film is not world's finest. He says that Superman is very important in the film, though. The announcement will be sooner than later, but not this week. So Superman, I mean, I don't know. We have Supergirl coming out next year. I can't think of what else Superman would really like cross over into where he would be really important. But
right.
I don't know. James Gunn doing more collaborative movies instead of focusing on a hero.
Yeah, I saw something James Gunn quoted coming across my social media feed where he said he didn't want to make Superman so powerful that it would be insignificant to have a guy with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Is that?
He did say that in this interview. And to that, you might have seen because I quote retweeted it. And I just
That's probably why I saw it.
And I just said, what did I say? I said, so the storytelling is lazy. Nice. I thought I was going crazy, but this confirms it.
It's Joshua.
Yeah. Look, and I think James Gunn is a good writer because I think he was 4 for 4 with the Guardians trilogy and Suicide Squad. I don't know what happened to Superman. I know the whole world disagrees with me. I'll plant my flag and stand on business that movie was horribly written.
Stand on business. I think there were some really clunky moments.
Yeah, and I think good writing knows how to handle an overpowered superhero and a guy with a bow and arrow. Like the comics have been doing it since the 40s.
That's true.
And Marvel has been doing it with Hawkeye. Like Hawkeye is a very interesting character. Thor exists in the world. Sentry exists in this world. Like it happens. It
it's funny when I think this is not really off topic, but the Green Arrow is one of the most compelling characters in DCU.
Yeah.
I mean, in the comic book universe. They really done anything in the movies with the Green Arrow?
No, just a TV show, Arrow.
I would love to see that character because that's a complex character.
I mean, he's a political Batman. Like,
yeah,
Green Arrow tackles very political issues. So it's like you don't need like Superman's power scaling is irrelevant to Green Arrow because Green Arrow focuses on political and social issues. Mm-hmm. So let the character do that.
Yep. Could be dynamite in a negative sense to try to put that in a movie these days, the way people go off on you if you go political, but maybe, I don't know. Don't have to worry about that. But I do think that character could really be a fun character to go see a movie about. Like if they really develop that guy. It should be nice for the Green Lantern, Green Arrow run because people forget, they say, oh, Neil Adams, Neil Adams is responsible for recreating Batman as the Dark Knight and all this, and he was. But they never talk about what he did for Green Arrow.
Yeah.
He made Green Arrow really cool and socially conscious and challenging Green Lantern. And he drove that whole story. Anyway, I just think the Green Arrow, just as a collector, I would love to see the Green Arrow get hot.
Yeah. This was interesting. In that same interview, James Gunn said that the day his deal closed to be co-CEO of DC Studios, Warner Brothers announced Henry Cavill returning as Superman without his knowledge. As a direct quote from James Gunn, he says, it was really unfair to him, Henry Cavill, and was a total bummer. He was an absolute gentleman, a great guy about it. I watched the interview. Joshua Horowitz was like, did you call Cavill? Like, because, they signed James Gunn, like, oh, you're going to be DC. And then they announced to the public. I remember the announcement. It was a selfie video from Henry Cavill announcing that he was coming back. So the same day they do the two, but they just decided not to have those things be communicated. So Joshua Horowitz was like, did you call Henry Cavill? And Gunn was like, no, we went and we saw him in person and we talked to him. And he said Henry Cavill was just the utmost gentleman.
That's awesome. Seems like they handled it well. Both parties.
Yeah, I mean, the fans are going to be what they're going to be, but I mean... And James Gunn said in that same interview, he's like, yeah, I mean, we'd love to cast Henry Cavill in another role. Like, he's a great actor. So we'd love to have him. So bring him as Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Green Arrow.
Joshua Horowitz asked him in that interview, is Brave and the Bold when you think we'll see Batman in the DCU for the first time? James Gunn says, I'm not going to say that. So we might get a little teaser sooner. Beyond the Spider-Verse has been delayed again, but worry not. It's only delayed by 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
June 25th, 2027. They pushed it back 3 weeks because all schools in America will be out. So more time for kids to go see it.
Good.
Social embargo for Fantastic Four was moved up from, I think it was Monday to Friday. That is a big move of confidence on Marvel's part, and also probably them trying to jump in and settle conversation of Superman, just as a competitive move that you would make. I only read a couple. I didn't read any, but the couple that I read, positive reviews. I'm not reading any more. But yeah, and just generally them moving the embargo up it's a strong move of confidence because I think with Quantumania, they pushed the embargo back.
Nobody talk about this movie because it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the day before the movie. I think it might have been Quantumania. It was like the day the movie came out or the day before. But yeah. Okay, speed run these because these are Oh wait, this a Superman spin-off series for Jimmy Olsen is in the works at DC Studios, set to be a crime anthology series focused on different DC villains. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, speed run this Kevin Feige interview that came out today. Jack Schreier, we talked about him. He signed on to direct the X-Men. Kevin Feige said it's starting now and the script is underway. Excited for that.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige says Avengers Secret Wars will reset singular timelines and reboot the MCU via Deadline interview. So we're getting a full reset after Secret Wars.
Good.
Which I think is pretty much what we all have kind of assumed was going to happen.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Along with that, he says that Marvel will eventually recast their core cast, such as Iron Man and Captain America. I hope they go a little bit younger. In like Avengers 1, like in an Iron Man, TOS 39, like I think he's like 23, something like that. So he's a young dude, so that would be cool to see just like younger takes on those characters. I think that would be fun. Mm-hmm. Kevin Feige says he's in active conversations with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman about returning as Deadpool and Wolverine. I know you're thrilled on that. Mr. Longbox doesn't care too much about the movies. He thinks they're fun, but
yeah, they're okay.
They're not his his cup of tea. Kevin Feige confirms Spider-Man Brand New Day will be a street level story. Him being Spidey, being by himself, dedicated to saving the city and dealing with, for lack of better terms, street level crime as opposed to world ending events via Collider. So
I like it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That comes out next summer. There's been rumors that the Avengers Doomsday third act has not been figured out yet, and they're currently shooting that movie. So this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. Creator and head writer of the Loki series, Michael Waldron, is now helping write the Avengers Doomsday script. So they're bringing him, trying to help.
Have to write around scenes that they've already shot.
Yeah. But to be fair, this movie got delayed till Christmas 2027. So
okay,
it's a year and a half away. Mind you, they started filming Superman a year before release. So we're a year and a half before release. So there's time.
Okay.
I mean, you would think it's reason to panic, but a year and a half is a long time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As long as they're willing to go back and shoot pickups and,
Yeah. Kevin Feige said fans should not expect Miles Morales in the MCU, at least until after Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. He has this direct quote: "We've been told to stay away." So Sony said, "Stay away from my boy. You can't use no Miles. Get away from him."
Yeah, well, they've got a very successful animated franchise.
Yeah.
Animation franchise. They don't want any competition.
Yeah, no, not at all. Kevin Feige said he'd been talking with Robert Downey Jr. about taking the role as Doctor Doom since before Ant-Man 3. To go alongside that, he said that Marvel spoke about pivoting from King to Doctor Doom before the Jonathan Majors stuff. Direct quote here: "Even before what had happened to the actor, we had started to realize that Kang wasn't Thanos." It's just so silly because Kang is a bigger threat to the Avengers in the comics than Thanos.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
So yeah,
honestly.
Some Blade news. Kevin Feige confirms that the new Blade movie will focus on modern day. So it was originally supposed to be a period piece, like late 1800s. They pivoted away from that, and they actually sold. I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. They sold all the costumes that they designed to Ryan Coogler for his Sinners movie, which was a late 1800s period vampire piece.
Oh, wow.
So looks like maybe they don't want to compete or have people do too much comparing to that movie. So they'll bring it to the modern day.
Tomb of Dracula 10's come down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what, I know at high grade, but I mean, I've seen like 7.0s go for like
under 1,000.
Yeah, $750, $800. That's pretty good. If you know, if you have any faith that this movie is ever actually going to get made and that it will be good, or if you just really have always wanted that book, maybe now's the time.
Yeah. This is what he had to say about it. "We didn't want to put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampires. You can start and have a good script and make it a great script through production, but we didn't feel confident we could do that on Blade. We didn't want to do that to Mahershala and didn't want to do that to us." Fair enough. Kevin Feige says the FF cast are halfway through filming their scenes for Avengers Doomsday. So
I love it. I love it.
A last piece of news here. Superman has earned $406 million globally as of 14 hours ago. I believe the movie needs $550 million to break even. So, and second week, not bad. Obviously, there's going to be some steep fall offs usually, like once you get to week 3 and a month in.
Yeah.
But this is probably one of those things where that movie could be in theaters forever. And
even I'm thinking about seeing it again because I'm like, can't be as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, am I going crazy?
But I don't know. I think I'm going to save my reruns for FF.
Yeah, I'm not helping them get to $1 billion. I did it once. That's all I'm contributing.
But I can see why Wolverine Deadpool got to $1 billion, because that was fun, and
yeah,
people like to go back for more fun, and
totally.
And so I could see that be a movie that people who enjoy it would want to go back and see it a second time.
Man, it's so funny. I'm seeing conversations like, "Oh, Man of Steel, like, or Superman beat Man of Steel. It made more money." And then other people are like, "Well, you didn't consider for inflation." And then they're like, "Well, if you do consider for inflation and consider the state of politics and the economy, actually, it is outbeating." And they're like, "Well, also Man of Steel didn't have Amazon Prime early viewings, and Man of Steel didn't have influencer interviews and marketing like this is." And I'm like, can these guys shut up?
Yeah, I respectfully pull away from your keyboard, find a girl, and go out on a date.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you can't do that,
not that important.
And if you can't do that, touch grass.
Yeah, you take off your shoes and go to the park. I'm tongue in cheek here, but it's fun. We're here to talk about these things, but certainly you don't want to be breaking into a sweat over it.
The Snyder cultists versus the gun lovers.
Yeah, I think there's room for all. Like, it's not a zero sum game. Like, everybody can be happy. You know what I mean?
Somebody said, they were like, "I'm a Man of Steel fan, but don't throw me in with those Snyder cultists."
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there's always extremes, man.
Yeah,
and I love the passion, but if your blood pressure is going up over this,
yeah.
something's just you need to do a little fine tuning, maybe.
I couldn't help but read through the arguments, because I found the arguments interesting, like the depths that they were willing to go.
Yeah,
that's just like, well, you didn't consider for inflation. Oh, well, you're not considering for this. Well, you know what? There wasn't Amazon Prime, and you know what? We didn't have TikTok in 2015, and we didn't have. And I'm just like, holy cow, this is crazy.
Somebody asked Grok, right? Isn't that the latest? What did Grok say about it?
You know what's funny is, you're a professor. Is these? I'm going to assume young adults, maybe in college, post college. They're probably putting more work into researching and studying the inflation than they're doing sitting in your class.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Like they, what gets them like digging, rolling up their sleeves to really like debate is things like Star Wars. You talk about, if you say, okay, if I want to take the day off, if I don't want to teach, I could walk into like my fantasy fiction writing class. I could walk in and say, okay, today we're going to break you up into 2 groups and we're going to debate Star Wars. Is it fantasy or is it sci-fi? And I just go to sleep in the back, because they'll talk for 3 hours on it. Like, I'll have to stop them from talking about it. They get really excited about that. Or frankly, the state of the MCU. I've got students who just passionately like angry about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't have to get like, if you're getting angry about it, maybe you're putting too much emphasis in your life in this area.
Yeah.
But that's ironic that I'm saying that as we're here talking about it for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So, pot calling the kettle black here a little, maybe, right? But anyway, yeah, absolutely. They definitely are spending a lot of time. They carry that around in their notes in their back pocket. They're ready to go and have these debates.
Is Star Wars sci-fi or is it fantasy? What do you think?
I think it's both.
Yeah,
It's both. It has both tropes. It's got the, obviously the Force is magic. Strict sci-fi, classical sci-fi. You can't have you have to have a scientific explanation for things, even if it's barely plausible. You don't have to give them the reason why. H.G. Wells did not say, here are the physics behind why this time machine works.
Yeah.
But he just said there's a machine and it works, and you go through time, and you suspend disbelief. But what classic sci-fi readers will not like, they will rebel against it, is you pull a rabbit out of a hat. It's like just some magical solution at the end. It doesn't, that defies the point of it. But of course it's sci-fi. How can you say Star Wars isn't sci-fi? It begins with the most basic sci-fi trope there is, which is long time ago, which actually isn't sci-fi, but in a galaxy far, far away, boom, it's space travel, or space and its travel. And the only thing that isn't sci-fi about that is usually sci-fi is about the future, not the past. Unless it's Battlestar Galactica.
But I mean, Star Wars probably is more technologically advanced than.
Oh yeah, you absolutely have Death Star. You have spaceships. You have
lightsabers,
warp speed, and lightsabers, which are built with technology. But then you have the Force. But then people will shoot back and say, no, but that's the mitochondria. It's actually not magic. It's based in physics, But I say that's
a little bit of both.
But that's retcon though. But that wasn't. If we're just looking at the original Star Wars trilogy, that's all considered to be mysticism. The Force is, So yeah, it's both. It's totally both. That's why I laugh when they get so bent out of shape arguing. It's like, you're both right.
Yeah, and I think sci-fi is very political. And
yes,
and the only Star Wars episodes that matter are very political.
Yeah,
I mean, heck, the prequel trilogy, it's the original trilogy is like thought-provoking politics because George Lucas was inspired by like wars and countries' involvement in wars. But then you get to the prequel trilogy, and I mean, you're like in the council room. You're in the chambers. Yeah. You're in the Senate. Like, and he gets really on the nose politics.
Yeah. I mean, when I've taught fantasy fiction writing and science fiction writing, and one of the things that I always say about sci-fi writing is that sci-fi, if it's doing what it's supposed to do, it's operating like a mirror to the people in the culture that's reading the sci-fi. It's the place where writers will ask readers to grope with and wrestle with the implications of the scientific advancements that they're exploring, and extrapolate what might be the cause and effect of these things. And they don't have to be sci-fi writers typically aren't very good prognosticators. They get it wrong, but that's not the point. They're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to predict the future. They're supposed to make us consider, hey, are we going down the right path? Like, what are the ethical considerations of AI? Does AI enter into the realm of slavery? Even Steven Spielberg was doing that with AI back in the 2000s when that movie came out. It might even be
Frank
the 90s.
Herbert on Dune.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's the Asimov in the whole all his robot trilogies, or iRobot or whatever. The humanity of a robot, and what is it? So just that sort of thing, or
Vision and Ultron.
Yeah, the Vision, exactly. Is he human? Is he not human? How should
1968.
Yeah, that's way back. And then all the stuff about, certainly dystopian things or apocalyptic things, end of the world stuff. Sci-fi asks you to consider, that how we might be going the wrong way. Typically that's what it is. And if it's doing it right, it never tells you the answer. It's not supposed to give you the answer. It's supposed to let you answer it. To raise the question. Fantasy, on the other hand, it better have magic, or it's not fantasy. Online. It's got to have magic. It's got to have a magic system with rules or no rules. You got to decide. And you're building a world. It's a bunch of world building. Sci-fi is world building too, but it's usually still within the universe as we know it. Fantasy, you walk through the back of a wardrobe, right? C.S. Lewis. Yeah. So, or it's Middle Earth or whatever. So, anyway, sorry. There's your lesson for the day. But yeah, I there's room for both, and there's room for overlay. Like I don't know why, but fantasy doesn't play off very well in comic books. We were just talking about Conan. People are just like, not really into it. Like, sword and sorcery in comic books is not what we want. We want superheroes, or we want crime, or we want
Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
Thor's fantasy.
He is fantasy.
Yeah.
Even more of that. You know, he's got a hammer.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gods.
But that's like, yeah, the medieval stuff, ancient stuff, I don't think works. But Thor is also based to both counter and prove your point. Thor is based on ancient mythology that like people are familiar with. And so there's like a familiarity with like everything that comes with Thor's lore. Whereas opposed to Conan, you're asking people to buy into something that they know nothing about.
Right.
Whereas like we've been taught Norse mythology since middle school, like maybe it was like when we were first introduced.
Yeah, totally.
So when you hear Thor and you're reading Thor, it starts to bring up all these memories of like, oh yeah, I know who Loki is, I know who Odin is, I know all these gods.
right.
But yeah, I get Thor is probably just an exception to the rule because even there's no like Odyssey comics that at least none that have worked and stood out and have made an impact on
I wish
comic culture.
I think you're right though. It just either has never really been done well, but I don't think that's true. I just don't think that the audience of comic books really wants to take the time to build, you know, for world building. It takes a long time. Yeah. It's a lot, right?
Is that something that people want to imagine maybe and not want to see?
Yeah, maybe it's just a slower burn because you need hundreds of pages to build a world. You know, Brandon Sanderson, you know, I can't imagine adapting any of Sanderson's novels, and I love them to death, to a comic book. It's just there's too much. Like you have to pack no room for art in any panel. How could you possibly explain the magic systems?
Yeah. That I was literally about to say that. I was like, like the magic systems. I mean, those will take chapters and chapters to get into and explain. Whereas like for Thor, he's strong and wields the Mjolnir,
and he can exactly, and he
and Loki
kicks butt and takes names, you know.
Exactly, and Loki can
shapeshift. I can't even say it. Shape-shift.
And that's very simple magic. Yeah.
Yes. So I think it could be cool. You can talk about that Red Sonja movie. That's probably not going to be any good, but I would love to see somebody like really commit to doing, and they never will because it'll cost too much money, but like a trilogy in the Conan world, and really like modernize Conan a little bit so he's not walking around looking like he's wearing a diaper, you know, and no shirt, and you know, but make it a little more realistic. And Red Sonja does not need to wear you know, plate armor bikini. Like we don't have to have that, but we can still have those two characters and the sorcerer enemies that he has and all that stuff. I think if it were done right, it could be really cool, but it would need to take like 2 or 3 movies. And who's going to greenlight a 3-movie trilogy of Conan that's never been successful?
You know, I think I know why Thor is the exception to the rule. It's divine. It's God and goddesses. And so there's almost like I don't need to question how this magic works because this is a god that I'm reading about.
Right.
And, you know, the power of a god, how do you capture or define it? It's just, this is a god or godlike being. Yeah. So,
and then when you bring Hela, who's the queen of the underworld, everybody gets it. It's just, exactly. It's like lifting straight from mythology. It's cool.
Yeah.
And we get it. We know that she controls the keys to death. You know?
But then when you talk about Conan, you're like, okay, where does he get his powers?
Yeah.
How does that magic work? These systems are complex. I need to understand.
I don't know if anybody's ever watched the movie Highlander. It was, and I'm forgetting the main actor's name, but it's but Sean Connery's in it. And Highlander came out in the 80s, kind of the late 80s, and it was about a character who can't really die, or there's only a certain way these characters can die, but they start in the medieval times and they go to modern times. But whenever they see each other, they have to fight each other, or there's anyway, their fights are always it's always sword on sword, and it's a great movie. They made a sequel or two, and I never saw the sequels, but the first one is awesome, so good.
Yeah,
and I think if they could do Conan that way, somehow mix the ancient medieval ride a horse with the modern, I think it could be good because people dig those kinds of movies. and Conan is well known.
Yeah.
It's a name, but it just has never really been done anything other than kind of a caricature of itself in
Yeah.
a way, not a parody, but it feels a little, so anyway, but I don't know. It was on my mind because we saw that one Conan book at the con.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just, Conan is one of those comic book titles that very hard to sell.
Yeah.
And yet everybody respects it. Like as a comic book, well, I know you don't like Conan 1, but Conan 1 is a cool book to have.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't really get much respect.
Yeah. Since we're on this topic, this will be the last thing I say before we give our final thoughts and expectations for FF. I finished Dune this week. I had said a couple weeks ago I was in the last chapter.
Right.
The last chapter is long, so it was just a matter of me. It was like me. I needed to like set the mood, so to say. Like and like, okay, I need to be fully immersed. Like, I want to. Like, I've seen this on film play out, the ending of Dune 2, the movie. I love the last scene between, spoilers, him and Fade Routha. Mm-hmm. Like, the way that there's just, like, no score, and it's just raw, like, the foot, and then the knife hitting, and just, like, them hitting each other.
Yep.
There's just, like, a lot of raw sound. I love it. So, I was like, okay, I needed, like, this is the, like, I need to clear my mind and just like read this. So I finally found the time. I was reading some other stuff. I found the time. Such an amazing chapter. So good. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many, like, I just love the way that like Paul is like starting to like, I mean, he looks at Stilgar and he looks at Gurney and he's like, well, he looks at Stilgar and he goes, this is a man I once respected who's now just an agent of the Muad'Dib. Like, that this is what he's become. And then he looks at Gurney and he's like, is this what this guy's going to become? Like, and he like starts to question, like, what am I actually doing?
Yeah.
But he's like, and I've peered into the future. I've peered into timelines. Like, this is what needs to happen. It's so good. Yeah. And he has this banger line that I think is in the movie. Dara said it's in the movie. Dara said it might be in the movie. I couldn't quite remember. But he says, the power to destroy something is complete control of it. Something along those lines. And I'm like, wow, that's such an amazing line.
So now you're gonna jump into God Emperor?
Dune Messiah is next.
Dune Messiah, sorry.
I have like, yeah, I might.
It's heavy, man. I thought I need a break after reading Dune, and that was like 5 years ago. I still haven't read the next one.
Yeah, I mean, the last lines, very interestingly enough, come from Lady Jessica talking about like the insecurity of being concubine and not wife. But then she says, like, history will remember the concubines as wives in their role. Because, Lady Jessica is far more important than whoever Leto's wife actually was.
Yeah.
And then Chani, more spoilers, he chooses Princess Orlan. Paul chooses Princess Orlan to marry purely for political reason. But Chani is the more important one. So I thought it was like a really interesting line.
We're covering everything this episode. We're going all over the place. This is awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But I loved it. So
good.
Yeah.
It's a great book.
It was the most thought-provoking chapter of the whole book, I think.
I'm currently reading Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose, which is recommended to me by a colleague that I respect a great deal, and I've been wanting to read it for a long time. And I don't know if anyone watching this has read it, but I'm only just 3 or 4 chapters in, and I mean, it's a deep thinker type of story, but at the same time, the pages turn very quickly. And I'm not gonna say anything more because I can't say anymore. I don't know anymore, but I'm really enjoying it. My friend says it's his favorite book of the 20th century, which is
wow.
Extremely
20th.
high, extremely high praise. I mean,
that's insane.
If you think about all the great books that came out in the 20th century, and this is a guy who's read, he's one of my colleagues at the university where I teach, and he's an English professor, and so he's read almost everything there is to read in the 20th century. So for him to say that, I texted him. I was like, yeah, I'm really enjoying the book. You didn't tell me it was detective fiction. You didn't tell me there was a mystery to solve. And he's like, all good stories are mysteries. And then he proceeds to send me. He must have had them all on his phone. About 8 or 10 quotes, long quotes from the book. Just
Oh wow.
Because it's philosophical also. But anyway, the Name of the Rose. I'll keep you posted on it.
Surely it's not better than How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I mean, right? I mean, if you're going to say if you're saying it's the best of the 20th century, you are saying it's better than The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. It's better than all that Dr. Seuss. That's a lot.
Better than Hemingway. Better than Fitzgerald.
Yep.
Better than T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot's poems, but
it's incredible, right? I mean, so to
Man.
say that, and
Better
this
than
is someone
Dune.
who would say anything like that lightly. So, and
better than Jaws. Jaws was a novel, wasn't it?
yeah, better
Man.
than
iRobot.
all that stuff.
Better than Harry Potter.
Yeah, and he
That's
keeps telling
99,
me
98?
like it's way more than just a mystery. He's like and he's like, but he can't really talk to me about it because anything he says is going to be a spoiler.
That's how I feel when I talk to people about Project Hail Mary.
We haven't even talked. Like that movie's coming out.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
Oh, you listened to it? Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. And I'm excited. And I don't know. I don't expect the movie to be. Whenever I read a book and then I watch a movie, I'm never really. With the exception of Lord of the Rings, it's always like, like the last one I saw that kind of makes me think of, reminds me of Project Hail Mary was Ready Player One. I loved Ready Player One as a book. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I loved it more than probably you because it was directly for my generation.
Yeah, I've never read it actually.
Everything that the author had, the character, all the puzzles he had to solve were from my generation.
Yeah.
The Dungeons and Dragons module, the Joust video game, and I could go on and on. It was my childhood and my junior high and high school experience, and it was so much fun. And the movie stunk. The movie was terrible. I never saw it. Yeah. And maybe it's because I read the book. And I thought all along, there's no way this movie can possibly cover this book.
For Ready Player One or Project
Ready Player One. Project Runway.
Project Runway.
Project Runway. Where's my head? It must be getting close to midnight.
It's 11:20.
Yeah. So anyway, it's Project Hail Mary. I think it definitely could be done with a movie.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be as good as a book. It never is.
Well, it's got to play out differently because the way the book is written,
right?
And I can't get into it because it's spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. But
the way it's written, you can't adapt it one-to-one to a movie. It would just the general viewer would just not be able to keep up.
No. So you're gonna have to things that are twists and spoil and twists in the book can't be twists in the movie.
Yeah. So I read that book. I didn't audiobook it, and I know the audiobook comes with high praise. I read that book on a flight to Boston, did some work in Boston, and finished it on the way back.
You can't put it down.
I think I might have read a chapter or two in Boston, but I didn't have too much time. I loved it. I'm listening to the audiobook for the first time now.
Yeah.
And the audiobook is great. But last thing before we go to FF, the movie written and directed or adapted and directed by the two guys, I'm totally blanking on their name right now, who did the Spider-Verse movies.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm blanking on their name. I can literally see their faces. Director of cinematography.
Oh,
Greg Fraser.
Let's go.
From Dune and Batman fame.
That's very encouraging.
So, I mean, that dude is the GOAT.
Yeah, he's great.
So, all right, FF.
FF.
What do we think? What are we looking for? We got like 5-10 minutes here.
What am I looking for?
What are we expecting? What are you hoping for?
I think what I'm hoping for is what I'm going to get. Like just a little bit that I've seen the very last.
Bring him over here.
Yeah, we need to get. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
I need more thing action figures because I think he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, that's heavy.
Yeah, this dude is severe. He doesn't do a lot of moving, but he's thick.
Yeah.
I have the rest of them. We'll bring out next week. I want a Galactus want an interaction between Galactus and Franklin Richards. I wanted that to be. Remember, I said I wanted that to be a significant part of Galactus's story arc is Franklin Richards, and I know now that that's going to be true simply because of that last little piece of trailer that dropped where Reed and the rest of the gang are being at a press conference, and they say, "How did you turn Galactus away or whatever it was? How?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, we didn't. The price was too high. What was the price? Our son." So now I know that's like. So I like sat up straight in my chair when I saw that. I was like, oh, this is what I want. So my expectations for the movie are sky high. What I want is I want Galactus to be scary.
Yeah.
I don't want Galactus to be goofy. Like put him in that environment and let us feel that if he sneezes, buildings are going to fall over.
Yeah.
And the guy embodies a whole universe. So he needs to physically be imposing. And we know that they committed to his physical presence in the movie. And I've seen some stills and so
they haven't given us a full look yet.
Nope. And I love it.
It's either been like, actually, I don't even think we've technically seen his face in the trailer.
Right.
We've seen his feet walking through the city, which we know is a practical shot.
Yep.
They built mini cities and had the actor walk through, but they haven't given us a full glimpse. There is a picture of his face that I think was released on like a media type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we haven't seen the full embodiment and just demeanor and just the conveying dominance the way that Galactus does. We have not seen that, and I'm glad that they're saving that for you got to go sit in the theater to see it.
I want him to be Gothic level frightening, where it's not because he's evil, he's just a shark in the water that needs to eat.
Yeah.
And that's some ways more scary because he's just calculating. Like he's, if it was passionate, you could maybe sway him not to do it, but he's beyond that.
Yeah.
He truly sees these planets as morsels to eat. He doesn't consider human life. He doesn't consider any life.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's evil. It's just because he's Galactus.
Yeah.
And I think if that needs to come across, because the whole movie Rise or Falls on the shadow of Galactus. How scary is he? And we know the way that he is heralded by the Silver Surfer gives us the chills.
Yeah.
And so they seem to grasp that that's what it's got to be. So the things that I wanted, that I said I wanted 6 months ago, feel like they are going for that.
Yeah.
So I don't, my expectations are through the roof. I'm okay if the story isn't over, or if the story, or if that universe gets destroyed, as we talked about before. I'm totally okay with it. Like I don't need the FF to save the day. I'd almost be okay if they don't save the day, because as we said before, it would set up. We know this is called first steps, so it will set up other things. So, but I've everything that's come through is story wise is what I'm hoping for. As far as the characters go, I hope that Sue Storm doesn't drive the train too much. I don't want Reed to be too whipped, if you know what I mean. Like I would be nice
sure,
because he is the leader of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen, like, he's the one at the podium, so he does represent them. But all the scenes where they're like making decisions as a Fantastic Four, it seems that Sue Storm is the one or Sue Richards is the one that's saying, we're going to do this and here's how we're going to do it. And maybe that's fine, that's fine. But I just want to make sure that I just hope that Reed does take some initiative in like what choices they make about Galactus or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm very optimistic about it at this point. Like my expectations are kind of through the roof right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with you. I sold my copy of Fantastic Four Annual 6 at my asking price on my claim sale yesterday. Shout out Mon Comics. He bought that, and honestly, I think you did a good job pulling the trigger on that book, Mon. Like I think that book, not only is it the first appearance of Franklin Richards, it is the first appearance of Annihilus and the first cover of Annihilus, who is not an understated FF villain.
And it's a great cover.
Yeah, it's a great cover. So that book, people have been sleeping on it, but I think people have been sleeping on it in multiple ways. Like Franklin Richards is just a piece to the puzzle for that book.
Yeah.
So nice pickup on. My expectations are through the roof, especially because I was not thrilled on Superman. So now that just made me like, I mean, I didn't get home from the movie, but like, well, I did get home from the movie at some point, but I was correcting something that I thought out loud.
Yeah.
A day after the movie, I sat on the couch and I watched the first 35-ish minutes of Man of Steel because I think that is some of the best just Superman storytelling. Like I said, the rest of the movie I think can be debated, but I think the first like 30-45 minutes of that movie is just amazing. And I watched that, and then I watched the first 15 minutes of the Batman, the Riddler with the mayor who's campaigning, and then the monologue Batman scene leading into the train station fight, because those two things are so peak in my mind.
Yeah.
And I kept telling Dara, I have a peak shaped hole in my heart because Superman was not peak, so I needed to watch something peak.
Yeah.
So I didn't even watch the whole movie. I just watched
those scenes.
Those scenes,
Nice.
and then I called it. So I have a peak shaped hole in my heart that's waiting for a full movie from beginning to end to be peak. So FF, I hope you do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. By the time you guys are watching this, we'll be basically 3 days away from going. So when we come back, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be wearing the same shirt for the next episode.
And
Unless I buy a new shirt.
I have a surprise for my my outfit.
Oh, maybe I should bust out my Reed Richards wig again.
Yeah, there
By
you
the
go.
way, this will take like 30 seconds. But we on the way home from the con, we saw what would have been the perfect Fantastic car.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It was one of those modern Volkswagen buses.
Yeah, it was called the ID Buzz or something like that.
And it was two-toned. It had the Fantastic Four light blue on about 2/3 of it.
Bottom half.
Yeah, the bottom half, and the top was white.
Yep.
It looked like it was I seriously thought there was going to be a white 4 on
Yeah.
the side. And if I owned that car and now I want to own it, I would absolutely put the 4.
Yeah.
I would probably
on the
just
back
put
doors.
and put the 4 on the hood. Like I would
On the
turn it
hood,
into
yeah.
the Fantastic car.
Heck yeah.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
so sick.
Oh.
Yeah, make sure you're here. We'll probably do like our out of the theater reaction, which Superman aside and like all of our opinions on it, at the end of the day, FF was our more anticipated movie. Like
Yes.
you grew up reading FF. You put me on to FF. I have a lot of FF books that I think just because of you and just like hearing your affection for it, that like you've just
Yeah.
passed on. So I think we both have like this affection for FF that we don't have for Superman in general.
Right.
So there's definitely like it's a different like type scale, I guess, so to say. So it's like when we say our expectations are high, and even more so Mr. Longbox than me, like there's a history that comes behind it.
Yeah.
And like a collecting history that comes with it. So our out of the theater reaction video is going to be a lot different. I feel like there's going to be a lot more emotional. Like even if it's bad,
If it's bad, it's gonna be really emotional. Because I'm gonna be upset.
2 grown men crying in car for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna be
is
upset
the title.
if it's not good, and if it's good, if it's peak, I'm gonna be bouncing up and down.
Yeah, so
There's gonna be a modest reaction to this movie.
Yeah, so make sure you're. I will post that Thursday night. I will make sure we take, because the reason I didn't before is because I didn't have a thumbnail picture. So I'll do that Thursday night. We'll have it up early Friday morning, like post midnight type stuff.
And it will be spoiler free.
Yeah, it'll be spoiler free, and then we'll record the next day, and that'll be out Monday. Maybe I'll even post the podcast earlier, just because it's FF.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know.
Yeah.
Make sure you're here though for all that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Have fun at the movies. I know we will.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. I'm at Spurs_comics. He's at Mr. Period Longbox. And we will see you guys when Fantastic Four is out.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Woo. See you later.